Hey everyone, welcome back and welcome to my stream. I'm just starting to get set up here to continue the build on the Vought F4U-1D Corsair 148 scale by Tamiya. Continuing that, I'm going to apologize now if you can hear my air conditioner running because my bedroom is like really hot. This is one of the hottest days of the year so far, and it's freaking hot in my room. So I'm keeping the air conditioning on, otherwise I'm just going to be sitting here sweating like crazy, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to take my shirt off. You don't want to see me without my shirt off. I already did that once or twice, maybe only once. But anyway, I already did that, and yeah, I don't want to subject you guys to that again. So I'm sorry. The AC is staying on. It's just the way it's got to be. Anyway, so I don't really want to call this part two, since my last one is really, part one was really only like half an hour long, and really all I got to do was paint some white on the bottom of this thing, and that's really about it. What I did off stream is I assembled the engine, and it's because you're not really going to see any of it when it's together. So I did assemble it. You can see the back of it there, just so I could have it all lined up and nice, so it fits nice like that. And the white paint is going to line up. I've been debating off and on whether I'm going to have this thing with the landing gear down or up, or if the wings are going to be folded or not. I bought a little stand to be able to mount aircraft like in flight, because so far all my aircraft, they all have landing gear down. They're all just sitting, on the tarmac kind of thing. But I'm still in debate. I was thinking maybe I'll buy a model of the F6F, what's it called, Hellcat, and maybe have that displayed in flight. According to Tamiya's little blurb that they had at the beginning of the instructions on the history of this plane, the F6F Hellcat is the plane that replaced the F4 in the Navy, and the F4s went to the Marines. So I was thinking, well, maybe I was kind of rethinking my paint color scheme then, and maybe painting this the full solid blue, and if I get the Hellcat, I'll paint it in the white and blue colorations. Maybe. I'm still on the fence about that. But for today, I went and mixed up some olive and some dark yellow or dark sand color to paint the colors of the interior. Cockpit, I mean. Yeah, that's what I meant, cockpit. So that's what I've done, and I've got some pieces painted here. Oh, I forgot, I gotta get some music on here. Entertain you guys, right? That's what it's about. Gotta entertain people. Anyway, so I painted them while they were on the trees, and now I guess I'm ready to start assembling this thing. I haven't had a lot of time to work on these lately, just because they're predicting it's having an extremely hot summer, and I'm not really looking forward to that, especially sitting inside here and streaming with my shirt on and no air conditioning going. Yeah, that's not going to go well with me. Not with my size. I'm a bit of a sweater, as in I sweat a lot in the heat, and it's not a lot of fun. Some people can handle it, and I'm not really one of them, but it's the way it is. So, apparently they're saying on the news this morning that we're possibly going to be breaking a whole bunch of records for heat this week, or this weekend, actually. So, yeah, I might just go sit in a restaurant where it's going to be nice and cool and air conditioned. That might be the plan tomorrow. Whoops. But we'll see. We will see. We will see. Well, I think that's it for now. I'm going to get off of the trees. So, there's my knife. Clean these up a little bit. I got my water out in case I needed to paint. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to need to paint anything just yet. I'll have to add some wash on this to make it look nice and detailed. Paint all those dials there on the instrument panel. But we'll see how this can all go together first. This is actually only I think the second plane, like a World War II plane I've ever built. I've got a P-51 Mustang. Well, that's not true. I'm a liar. I've got a P-51D Mustang that I built about a year ago. I don't think I really paid that much attention to detail or really tried to do too much on it. Just kind of a basic build. And I built a Spitfire, and now building this, and that's it, and that's all I've done. Not really. I usually build modern jets. Okay, now let's see how these things are supposed to go together. So take this, and then this guy goes like that. And this guy, and this guy. Forgot to clean this one up. This guy goes like that. Okay, so it looks like I glued this guy on first. Okay, and then this guy. Sort of. It drapes over it. Complicated little assembly on this. There. Okay. I'm going to need my fin set to make sure that stays. Okay, so that's that. I have a linkage, that, that's like that, this has to go like this, and it goes through there. For error. Very nice. Thin this out just a little bit so it'll slide through that hole. It's supposed to. One thing I want to do, any of you who didn't like my little black square for the chat, I need to fix that. If somebody does say anything, I can't see it. So I need to darken that up. So anyone who doesn't like that, I'm sorry, I need to keep it like that. Okay. Where was I? Test fit this now. Let's get the runway. That's some heavy technology. Where it's going to go, like that, so let's just use the thin set on that. It's almost don't need clear. I need to turn that down a little bit. All these extra sounds and noises. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so there's that part. Now, we have this part. The seat just simply goes on there. It's a pretty snug fit. There we go. Seats on. And we got this. And then this. It's not really clear. Goes in there like that. That. Okay. off. Put some glue on there. So I actually painted that part, so I'm going to take the paint off of there just to help the glue stick a little better. And I'm going to put the glue on this part. That's that. And I have a piece A32, which I'm pretty sure I had neglected to paint. A32, that's fine, A32. This is A32. Yeah, I did not paint this piece. Did not realize it was part of it. Goes on that little tab there. That. Alright, I'm moving along to a K-pop song that I only barely know the lyrics to. Okay, that piece is on. I'm not even really going to see that when it's all together, but it's there. That's good enough. Now, we put the two pieces together. You can already see where that's supposed to line up. There and there. That and there. Okay. Good enough for me. If I put it together now, painting the gauges may be difficult. Yeah, because that'll be in the way. So I'm going to hold off a minute and get my paint out, because I got to paint the... Well, they're actually calling for decals on the gauges instead of paint. Let's have a look. Maybe I just need to... Sometimes the decals have the gauges, but they got no backgrounds on them. Sometimes they do have the backgrounds. So let's take a look and see what we got. Alright, don't need that no more. And not going to need that. 39 and 40. Oh yeah, just a little cluster of gauges with clear background. Oh, and they got the seatbelts too. That's cool. So why don't I do that? Let's put those on now. That's another thing that's such a big contrast between World War II aircraft and modern jets. The amount of instrumentation in the cockpit and just the disparate, what is it, disparaging? Disparaging? No, it's not disparaging. The difference between the amount of electronics is just, it's crazy how far we've come in relying on electrical things compared to 1940s. Oh, we got decals for here and here too. Or no, we don't. It's just telling me to paint that black. Okay. Big difference. It's just me with my camera like off. My camera angle a little bit different. More different than normal. I think it's the same. It just seems to be cut off for a while. Anyway, I'm out of water. I gotta go get some water. I'll be back in a minute. And by the time I get back, my deck should be ready. All right. All right. Let's see here. Okay, let's see how these guys are doing. You ready to go? Oh yeah. Watching a video on making your own water slide decals, and thinking to myself, that would be really cool if I could actually do that. Especially for like you know, if you're building something like from a movie, it'd be really cool to be able to put the same markings Oh, for example, just like see Maverick's F-14 from Top Gun. So there we go. We've got the instrumentation decals on. See how that looks on there. Can you see that? Yeah. Get it. Focus in there. So there's those. And then put the seatbelt on. So this goes like that, crosswise as well. Lap belt. Okay, so while that's in the water there, getting ready to go, I gotta go downstairs and grab something. So I will be right back. My chopsticks showed up. I ordered some metal chopsticks on Amazon and they showed up. So I'll be eating good tonight, no? Just developing a flavor for Korean food. Um, yeah, I realized sometimes the food is actually easier to eat when using chopsticks. And yeah, so there's a seatbelt. Seatbelt's put on there. And there you go. Kind of a glare on the camera lens, but you get the idea. So once I'm all done and I hit that with a flat clear, that glossiness will go away, and then you won't be able to tell so much that it's a decal. Okay, so that's together, that's together. I can now put these two halves together, and then I can start painting a little bit of the black detail. I don't think it's going to make any difference. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get in there. There's some detail, I guess you could say, on the front wall. This is the front. There's a bunch of detail down in there I want to get at with the accent color. So just to give it some detail on there. And you know, this plane is old, so if by adding all this panel line detail, it kind of makes it look a little rugged, that's okay. I think that just adds to its character. Especially to like the pilot's pedals there. Detail I didn't want to get on there. That's okay though. Alright, now we can glue the two together. Is there any detail I can put on this first? Yeah, I'm going to go change my mind every 10 seconds here. Okay. Now, I know I'm supposed to paint the headrest black. So I'm just going to cheat by using the panel line center on it. Not to run. So there we go. Okay. That dries pretty quick, so just leave it. Alright. Ready to be glued? I am ready to glue you. Now what's kind of bad is I'm not sure how the angle it's supposed to be at. I can guess, but it's really all I got is a guess. So that's what we got right there. sitting like this. Let that sit and see how it's, if it likes to sit like that. All right. Oh, look at that. We even have two options. I've shown you, I built a little tractor. I assembled the little tractor guy that comes with this kit. A little tugger. It's actually quite a bit of detail. I mean, we even got exhaust in there, everything like that, and the engine, the transmission, all that stuff, everything. Gear shifter, the linkage for the pedals on each side. It's actually quite impressive, the amount of detail on this little guy. And they have it configured so you can either display it as the tugger is at the back of the plane, pulling it from the rear landing gear, or at the front of the plane, pulling it from the front landing gear. That's kind of neat. So anyway, we are on to step 2. So I've already assembled the engine, right? Those pieces in there that you're never going to see because they're inside that, well, they are in there. It's together and it's assembled. So let this dry. I put you there. Stay there. Next we have this part. Now there was a clear piece that got put on there and it goes into that little spot there. So why they have that clear, and then once you do paint it, I don't know. Makes no sense to me. Why make a clear piece and then have you paint it? It's pretty weird. But anyway, I did that. So that's done. We have these pieces here. So as you can see, I've done my little bit of the white on the front of that, and then painted the inside of the landing gear area. So I've been doing a little bit here and there on this thing, but I haven't really got far. There's this piece, and these guys, they go in the front. There, kind of thing. Once it's all together. So now they wanted me to put a couple of holes in the bottom of this, so I did, and that's these guys here. A couple holes there, and a couple holes there. And what that's going to be is for the carrier, for the, what do you call it? Not carrier, carriage. Carriage? Pylon. That's the word, pylons, for the bombs. The two bombs that come on that this plane uses right there. I've been debating what color to paint these bombs, because as you know, this plane, they have it in all dark blue, right? It's all just blue, right? And so that would be the normal color for the bombs. You paint the bombs blue because the plane is blue, 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 everything blue. But I'm doing this in that white. It's going to be white across the bottom, and then a medium blue, and then the dark blue. So I was wondering, should I do that with the bombs? But there's such a small surface area on this bomb. I don't think they would have bothered, because the bomb sits underneath there like that. You don't really see the bomb from up top. I guess you kind of would, but not really. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should just hit the top of it with the dark blue. Call it a day. I don't know. Like I said, I'm still debating over the whole thing. Anyway, so I got those holes drilled, and it looks like just assemble these two halves, and then, oops, careful, and then be done. So it's going to go like that. And as you can see, it's going to be the inside of the landing gear is going to be that yellowy green color. It's kind of funny, you know, I've seen some pictures of this plane online. I guess people where guys have like restored them or whatever, and they don't paint the inside like that, like it was back in whenever 39 or 40, whenever they first started testing these things. They paint them just white, just like it would be a modern one. Now that's another thing that I've been debating about as to whether or not to have the other half of the wing actually up in its stowed position, I guess you call it. Because if make this model and have it in flight, then obviously the wings are going to be out. But the instructions here show if the wings are stowed or folded, then this little piece right here, you can see, I'm pointing up there, they want me to trim that off. So I think maybe get this all glued together first and then worry about that. Does this one go there, or is it the other one? That one goes there. And it goes just like that. Okay, so I'm just going to double check my instructions, make sure there's not anything else I'm supposed to add to this. Looks like, okay, so I want me to paint that. Paint that there. That's already in there. That's already in there. That's already done. So I got A24 to add to this thing after, so that's fine. Okay. So get to glue in. I'm going to check something here before I do that. Okay. Alrighty. One side together. Let's just double check how the side fits. Looks like we'll be okay. You can see those slots there. I'm guessing it's for the flaps. These slots along here and along here. They look like they don't quite line up exactly. See right there on here. They don't line up perfectly. And so I'm hoping that's not going to cause me an issue later on. I guess time will tell. gets the other side on. Okay, now this is in there. Just like that. That's one side. How does this one fit? Nicely, I hope. Yeah, it's not bad. There we go. So we've got this part done so far. Now I have to go here at A24. And I guess I have to paint A24. Yes, I will have to paint it. I'm going to put it in first and then paint it. Literally just sits there. And that little pin. Like that. Not really sure what the purpose of it is, but whatever. I'll put it in there. It's one of those situations where I'm adding a detail, but I don't know why I'm adding a detail. Basically like, yeah, okay, I'm putting this on there, and what does this do? Why is this on the plane? Why is this part of my detailing process? I'm not sure what it does. So I have to paint that little triangular piece that I just put on there. they want that the same color as everything else there. So and now put the fuselage together around the interior. I was going to say interior cockpit. So just have this tape sitting there, just holding it together for something to do. See, I've already painted the interior parts of the fuselage, but I'm going to add some accent color to that and make it look like crap. Yeah, I'm going to make it look like crap. Just show you the difference. So obviously there's a huge difference when you, in the level of detail when you add that accent color to it, right? It makes everything pop out so much more pronounced. And I mean, if I was trying to do something in a sense where it's like, hey, this is a brand new plane, you know, prototype, fresh off the assembly line, then I wouldn't necessarily be doing I wouldn't necessarily do the accent color at all, because it would all be pristinely new. But this plane has been around for 60 some odd years, actually 40, we're talking about 80 years or so. It's got some stories it can tell, and it's seen some stuff. And because of that, for lack of a better term, I want it looking like crap. But in a nice way. Nice crap. I want it to look like a nice piece of crap. Right. Okay. This should be dry and safe to play around with now. And see if it actually fits. So, the front of it is supposed to go there and the back in there. Okay, so it looks like it's sitting nice there. a little bit tight. Ah, there we go. Looks like we're going to be okay. Now, you can see see it underneath there, but this is going to cover that like so. So it can see through to the bottom. You can see through. You can kind of see my red shirt through the canopy. Through there, because it's hollow. You can see me through there from the bottom through. And that's why they want that detail underneath there. Because if you look closely when that's in there, you might not be able to tell on the camera there, but you can see right through and see into that bottom. Oh yeah, you can just barely see it there, right? How about over on this one? Try and angle it there, you might be able to see right through to the bottom, to the floor, to this piece. Which makes me think, I should have left that clear piece clear. That would have been kind of cool. So why did they tell me to paint it? Right there. Giving me the paint color. Telling me what color to paint it. And same on the inside. So I don't know. That would have been kind of neat. It'd be like, hey, the pilot can see right through. He can look down right through his floorboard. Maybe he could. Maybe this is incorrect. I don't know. But it looks like it's going to fit together pretty good. Put the engine on there and I almost got an airplane. I still find it amazing the difference in size compared to a modern jet, a modern fighter jet. It's just crazy to me. Okay, anyway. Kind of back to square one here. Oh, you wanted to stay on this side, did you? That's okay, because I know that's exactly where it needs to be. So I am just going to quickly do some thin set on there and glue that in. Because I know it's happy sitting right where it is. Now I want to double check to make sure I have all the pieces. It looks like it's only nothing else to go together there. No weird hinges or anything that I'm supposed to paint or put in somewhere. Doesn't look like it. Okay, so it looks like we might be good. I just want to check something again here before I continue. Okay. So let's put the two halves together. Duplicities. Hello, if you need real free and high quality service to increase your viewers, check streamdetails.com. Top streamers already use it. Well, thank you, Tomatoes Consult. I'll keep that in mind. I wonder if those things are automated or if it's somebody actually typing that out. Okay, so we got that glue up. Put some glue on this. And we're ready to go. Okay. Just tape across here will help. Just tape on the tail will help. I need a piece underneath here. My tube. One more right there. Okay. Let that dry. There's two pieces that go right here. And that is E1 and E2. So these two pieces here. Oh, Tomatoes Consult also, thank you for being the first person to talk in my chat today. I wonder if we just put this together like that, and then just put it on the plane. I guess I could. So good. Okay. So I'm just going to glue this together like that. There's our little teepee. I'm just going to give that a minute before I put that on. Take a look at the next page. Wings and wings and wings. So we want me to put this on. Doink. Let's do this. That now goes here. Just like so. Thing. Take that front part down. Okay. Let's add a bit of glue. Not sure how much glue in contact underneath, but put some glue on the underneath. That's pretty good. Okay, this should be okay to go on now. We're going to go right there, just like that. Kind of sits up a little bit, doesn't it? It's not exactly a perfect fit. I want to actually get it to sit in there. It sits pretty good. So, okay. Tight little fit, but I got it. All right. It's actually a very nice fit. Well done, Tamiya. That's perfect. Okay, so I want to get my fins ultra thin glue. I want to run it along that edge here, just to get these two halves to sit nicely together. Get that good old capillary action going. I don't want to hold it for 5 minutes, so there we go. And that's that. We got some details that they want to put out on here, but we're not ready for that stuff yet. So I can start working on the landing gear. It's amazing the flaps, the flap system on this plane that they had to do because of the angles of the wings doing that, to be able to give this plane the amount of lift required, having to put all the flaps all the way along there, but they've got to be sectioned. Let's put those flaps together. They're all on the B tree. Riding on the B tree. No, that doesn't make any sense. So B19 and 22, they go together. There's 22 and 19 right there. Okay. So you and you two go together. You guys first. Just realized my music is really quiet. Bells. I don't know if I should put them together now or wait until I've painted them, because well, they're already in a downward position. This can be a fun game of, let's see how this fits together. Should I bother putting together, or should I just paint that white, because the top half is going to be a different color anyway? I don't think it's going to make much of a difference as long as I make sure that I don't paint the other side when I'm painting one side, which should be okay. Should be. Yeah, I want to paint them. I want to paint them separate. That's a much safer way to go. So now I know the flaps are not up. right? I don't think so anyway. Let's just double check. Next page. Putting all the flaps on. Yeah, the flaps are all down. Even this front flap here, that's down. So the flaps are all down. So every flap that has this tab on it is, see that tab? See it? There. It's a little blurry. There. Every flap that has that tab, this one here, that's a bottom flap. That's the underside. So, and since the underneath of this is, oh shit. Which one goes where? That's going to line up like that. I think I've got to paint that. I'm going to have to paint that under there. But what color do I paint that? Is that going to be the same color as this? I know this side, this edge is. That's going to be that yellowy green. See, that is that color there. That's the yellowy green. And that's the yellowy green. They're not instructing me in any way on the back edge of the wing. At all. Showing me the front of the wing. Yeah, they're not giving me any indication as to whether to paint this here, all along here, and that, see that gray edge there? That's going to be exposed when I put the flap on, or in, like this, but what color should that be? Should I just do it white? Maybe I should just do it white. Let's refer to some pictures here on Corsair and see if I can see. Let's see if I can show you guys this. You can see that where this is clearly a clearly been restored, and all that I'll call it kibble in there is all white, whereas, you know, I guess back in 1940 that would have been all that greenish yellow color. So I'm obviously not going with that, right? I want to see if I can find images of how the flaps are connected. This is another picture of one that looks like it's in a museum. But again, like, its flaps are down, but I can't see any of the detail in there on that area, in those areas. That's a shiny plane, I'll tell you that. I don't think I'll be painting mine gloss blue like that. But yeah, I don't think that one doesn't really do it justice. I mean, that's nice looking, but okay. So here's another one. Here's another one that looks promising. Oops, I don't want that. Zoom in here. Might be able to. I think. See, this might be that same plane where everything is all white on the inside there. This Red Bull, so this is like, I don't know, a racing one or something. But it doesn't look like, so even that little part there is white. So I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say everything underneath there should be white. You kind of tell in that little spot there and that spot there is white. So that's what I'm going to do. So I got to paint that spot in there. I got to paint that gray there. That's going to be white. And so yeah, so that's what it needs to be done. And so that being said, let's put these aside for a second. Get my tray set up. My bowl off. Where are you going? Almost time for another can. Okay, so I want to mask off this and this so it doesn't get painted. So I do not want to jeopardize my work that I did in there. So even though the rest of the bottom is white, and there's a lot of it that's not going to be white at the end of the day, I still want to mask it off because I don't want, actually I don't want to mask it off. I'm doing the opposite of what I want to do. I'm going to take this tape off that's holding the canopy together. I think the glue is dried enough now. What I want to avoid is having a hard line of paint right there. But at the same time, I need to mask that thing off. So I kind of need to decide where my line is going to be. Where am I drawing that line in the sand? You know what I mean? Because I'm going to have overspray. That's unavoidable. Okay. I think I'm happy with that like that. And technically, I don't need to put a super thick coat there. One of those mute details. it's just good enough. Don't really need to do any more. Normally I do 2 coats, but because that's just kind of inside and it's a very minor detail, I'm good with that like that. It looks fine as it is. So now I'll focus on those flaps. So there's one, I have that one. So I need to do just the ones that have those tabs. Need to determine though which ones actually go where, because there's tabs or there's flaps on these part of the wings too. So I'm just going to take one off here for now. This is the underside. This side is right. I have to do all the landing gear covers too, all the stuff that would go there. Which flap goes here? That one? One of these. Actually might be that one there. So the reason why I need to know this one is this part of the wing is blue, right? They don't have the entire wing white. It's only that part. And so this part here is going to go like that, but this is going to be up like this, right? It's going to be sitting like that, and not like this. But nevertheless, it has its own little flap there. I wonder why they don't. This clearly is another flap. This little section, like this whole wing, whole backside of the wing is a flap. But anyway, so this is the piece, I believe. Looks like it fits. Everything lines up nicely right there. It's either this one or this one. No, it's this one. In any case, those are the two. So these ones are going to be blue, so those I don't use. It's just these. Why do I have 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why I have 4. Clean them up, make sure there's no little shitty parts. One. I don't know why one of them has a hole like that. I don't know what the purpose of that is. It's weird, but whatever. That's the way it goes. Okay. So it's all right. Okay. Always do the first coat kind of light to make sure the paint is going to stick proper. And let that dry. I'll give it a few minutes, or I'll give it a minute anyway, and then do a second coat. Landing gear is all going to be, they want everything aluminum for the most part. Check something. I think I might have to go. My time might be up for now. Yes, you got a lot back. Unfortunately, I might have to go. Yeah. Alright, so I have to go, but in the meantime, I'm going to hit those flaps with a second coat, and then they want me painting the rockets. And those little rockets are here somewhere. Where are my rockets? I'm going to take them on down there. It's got my little rockets here, and they want me to paint those kind of half light gray, half olive. So I'll hit them with a light gray color. That will be next time. So I have to go for now. So I'm going to say thank you. Thank you for watching my stream. For those of you who have, if you just joined recently, I apologize, but I have to go. And that's about it. So yeah, thanks again for watching. I'll do my usual plug here. If you want to watch previous builds that I've done, you can check me out on my YouTube page, duplicitous_29. You can check me out on my Instagram if you'd like to see still pictures that I've taken of previous builds. And again, that's duplicitous_29 on Instagram. So, once again, thank you for watching, and check me out next time. I might be able to get back to this later today, but I really don't know. It's kind of up in the air right now. My schedule has kind of been all over the place this past week or so. So, especially with this heat, it's tough. Yeah. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and we will see you all next time.